Welcome back, everyone, to the Bowling Promotion 2022 Strike Tour Series. Today we bring you the fifth of 9 matches in our Baker Team Series and our second match in Division 2 with France's second team facing Team Orion. This is our first look at Team Orion, and it will feature Clara Guerrero from Colombia, Jack Blythe as the captain from England, Laura Plaza is also from Colombia, and USA's Lindsay Boomershine from the Utah area. Team France 2 will go with their same lineup of Celine Garon, Kenny Biot as the captain, Emma Friant, and Alexandra Lopez. As we know, each team in each division faces each other once, and the top 2 teams advance for the division championship, and those 2 division champions will face off in our 9th match for the team championship. So here we are with this second match in Division 2. Division 1, of course, has got Team Sirius and Team France, the first Team France team, advancing to face each other for the division title. And now we are going through the Division 2 matches to determine our 2 contenders for the Division 2 title. Clara Guerrero will kick us off here on the left lane. And it looks like she's got an infinite physics and pretty good shot. Goes out a little bit far to the right, comes back, crumbles the bucket, but leaves just the 7-pin. I don't think she meant to have the ball go that far out. We are on a 42-foot gateway arch oil pattern, and we've seen some pretty good scores out of this pattern, but of course we are into several matches without a re-oil, so you will see some movement in generally to follow the oil line in, and in some cases some slightly unpredictable results in terms of ball reaction as the lanes start to break down. So Clara will take her plastic ball and go straight at the 7-pin, and no trouble there. Clara, of course, an international star with many, many victories on the international scene. And she graduated from Wichita in 2006, has won PWBA title and is a regular on the PWBA Tour. Now let's have a look at Celine Garon. Celine throwing this phase 2. And let's see if she has moved left at all on this gateway arch lane pattern as it continues to break down. And a pretty good shot. That was over about 14 and a beautiful strike for Celine. So good start there. And of course, as we said, these teams play off. You get 3 points for a victory. If the teams tie, they each get 1 point. And, of course, 0 points for a loss. And France, too, already with 3 points by virtue of their win over Team Vega in our last match. Here's our first look this year at Jack Blythe. Of course, we saw Jack on last year's Bowling Promotion Tour. And, of course, our friend Bruno Bedone now gearing up for the 2023 Bowling Promotion Tour. So I would urge you to look at his website and have a look at that. Jack very straight up the lane. A little bit of a harder shot there and strikes. Not trying to ask that ball to do a lot of motion. So let's watch this. That's straight up 13, 14, right up the boards. And that made it up to the 17th board in the pocket. So he only had about a total of 3 or 4 boards hook of that entire shot. So taking a lot of that pattern out of play. Now let's look at lefty Kenny Biot. And Kenny with a powerful release. You'll see him playing from the inside out and around this oil pattern. And gets it out to the right, and quite a bit left, and won't make the corner. And unfortunately, that's a nasty washout. And of course, France had the first match against Team Vega, won. Unfortunately, Kenny split in the 10th, but they still hung on to win 208 to 207 against Team Vega to give them 3 points. That went out left. I don't think he expected that to accelerate like it did off the end of the pattern, and it didn't make the corner. So let's see what Kenny can do here with the washout. Stay tuned for Mark Chavet's interview with captains Jack Blythe and Kenny Biot after our match. Mark Chavet, of course, the voice of the Tour de France and helping with the commentary on the French side of these series. And Kenny cannot convert the washout. And that's going to put his Team France in an early hole. Now let's have a look at another Colombian, Laura Plazas. We did see Laura before last year's bowling promotion tour. Let's see how deep Laura plays these lanes. She's definitely deeper than Clara was, and gets it out and back. Beautiful shot there by Laura to give Team Orion the double. And watch this, crossing about 16 out to about 8, and a beautiful turn and a perfect angle through the pocket, and beautiful speed. Great shot there by Plazas. Now back to Team France. Emma Friant, her first shot of this match. Of course, it is Baker, which means each bowler on the team bowls 1 frame at a time, and since there are 10 frames and only 4 bowlers, we have 2 bowlers that bowl 2 frames and 2 bowlers that bowl 3 frames. And Emma gets up for the trip 4, and keeping her team in the match here. Unfortunately, already a 22-pin deficit for Team France over Team Orion. Here's Lindsay Boomershine, of course, out of the Utah area, married to Hank Boomershine, a famous Storm executive. And let's watch Lindsay's shot here. Lindsay, a 3-time USBC Open championship, and pretty good shot there by Lindsay, but unfortunately it skids a little bit through the pattern, won't quite slow down and make the corner. It kind of keeps going, turns a little bit, but gets up and leaves the mixer 7-pin. Yeah, that leaves a 21-pin advantage for Team Orion right now. And Lindsay back to that mix. Actually, it's interesting ball, the mix. It's got a little bit of urethane in it and some plastic, so a lot of people use it for spares and for drier conditions. So good cover there for Lindsay Boomershine. And now Alexandra Lopez on the France side. And another phase 2, so Storm very well represented here in this match between Team France 2 and Team Orion. And again, let's see how deep she plays this line. Oh, look, right around the track, 12, beautiful shot, flat 10. Cannot double up for Team France. So Team France is going to continue to have the 21-pin deficit over Team Orion here in the 4th frame. Once again, shout out to Bruno Bedone, who is the organizer and promoter of this 2022 Strike Tour Series on the bowling promotion side of things. It is a special event organized by Bowling Promotion for the French Federation and the French Olympic Sport Channel for the promotion of bowling in general and the French teams specifically. And we've seen some very nice representation for France, of course, in Division 1, France advancing to the final against Team Sirius, and good cover there by Emma. Here's Clara Guerrera once again. Let's see if she moves off of that light hit in the first frame. Again, throwing that infinite physics, which is a ball with a lot of motion on the back end. And get that in a little slower, and great adjustment there by Guerrero, as you'd expect. And that was dead flush in the pocket. And let's see how this one, that's 12. Doesn't get out quite as far, so that one straighter up the lane. Gets to the break point around maybe 8 or 9 or so, and makes the turn perfect into the pocket. And here we go with Celine Garand. So the 2 anchor bowlers, if you will, are Celine and Kenny Biot on the French team, and Clara Guerrera and Jack Blythe on the Orion team. Another beautiful shot by Celine, but unfortunately this one is going to come a little bit late for a flat 10. And again, France just can't get it going here on this right lane. Get that beautiful follow through. That's textbook, but can't get the turn. So it's going to knock France down one more pin in count. So now a 22 pin deficit for Team France. Just they need to start striking here. I don't see Team Orion missing the pocket much. So now very important for France to figure out how to strike in the back half of this game. We're in the 5th frame. Once again, Bruce Hall here, your international voice for these competitions. And it's my privilege to bring you the international version of this. If you could hit subscribe, you'll get notified when new videos come out. They're released every few days. Then you see the French version followed by the international version. And here's Jack's second shot on this left lane. He went very straight and struck the first time. Let's see what he does here. That's a little bit further right, and he catches some dry, and it turns up. And unfortunately, that is going to not let Team Orion double. And as soon as I said they wouldn't miss the pocket, what's the next thing that happens is they miss the pocket. So there's the announcer's curse gifted to the Orion team. So let's see how Jack faces up against this 3-6-10. So Jack, a fairly common bowler over here in the States. And we see some other folks from England. We see Carl Buckley and Sarah Hood and some other folks come over here and bowl some U.S. events. Really exciting. And I would urge everyone to explore being part of the 2023 Bowling Promotion Series over in France. It is such a fantastic time. You tour the country, bowl in different events. As you can see, here's a great team competition coming together with folks from different countries trying to challenge the French teams. And now let's see the adjustment that Kenny makes here. He was substantially left on his first shot for a washout. And let's see if he moves left. Let's see what changes he makes here to try to get to the pocket. And gets it in. Better shot and give him the strike. Okay, 22 pin deficit now for Team France. Let's see if they can come back in the second half of this game. We're in the 7th frame now, and here's Lara Plazas. Had that soft stroke. She's deeper than really anyone on both pairs. And let's see how she plays her second shot here. And gets it out. Good shot. Turn up. Oh, look at this. 7-10 in the pocket. That was not very nice. And she got a beautiful turn into the pocket her first shot. But that time the ball just waited a little bit, didn't quite make the turn. And how about a 7-10 in the pocket? Virtually impossible spare to make. But let's see what she does here. Can she bounce it out? Of course, we've seen a man on TV a few times. Kicks the 10 over, but cannot make the spare. So here is France's chance. They've got a strike up, and they could actually essentially take a 1-pin lead if they could strike here. So they were down 22. They got the open from Team Orion, and now the strike here can put France right back in this match. In fact, in the lead. And it falls to Emma Friant. Takes a breath. A little bit of pressure here. She knows it. And pretty good shot. Gets it out to the dry. Turn it up, and a flat 10. Cannot get the double. Team France failing to double so far in this match, with one open, and therefore they are pacing at the 180 range. And that was a pretty good shot by Emma under the conditions. Unfortunately, it goes flat 10. So with the conversion, it will still be only a 9-pin match because Team Orion only has one double, and then they had the 7-10 in the pocket. for the one open. So not a high-scoring affair here. Again, I think we're seeing some breakdown of this pattern, which means the oil tends to carry down. You don't see as good a carry. Sometimes it's harder to hit the pocket. And it's just anybody who's bowled a league in any time knows about lane breakdown. Job done. Here's our second look at Lindsay Boomershine. And let's see what Lindsay can do here. That looks like a supernova in her hand. And takes her time. And pretty good looking shot. Turn it up, get some carry. Again, another 10-pin. Just very difficult to get the ball to turn through the pins the right way here. And we are on our, as we said, our fifth match on this oil pattern without a re-oil. And you can start to see it, even though it's only one game per match, that's enough to change the pattern. Since most folks play around the same place, since you've got a seam around from around 9 board to 12 or 13, most folks play there, and so you see things start to track up. The heads go a little bit sooner, and you have to move in. You have a little bit longer, so it's harder to carry and harder to consistently strike, and that's what we're seeing here. But a good cover of the 10-pin there by Lindsay. And again, a 9-pin advantage for Team Orion as Team France gets up to complete their 8th frame, and then we will be back to the anchor players for the 9th and 10th. So certainly this one going down to the wire. And again, light there for Alexandra. Comes up light for the 2-5 combination. And just can't get anything going here. Neither team can get any momentum in the back half of this game. But this just goes to show, make your spares, stay patient, and you might only need a double to put it away, and you'll get your opportunity to do it. Again, good cover there. Okay, here we go. It's Clara Guerrera will be in the 9th frame, followed by Jack Blythe to wrap things up for Team Orion. We start looking at our maximums here. We have 216 maximum for Team Orion and 205 maximum now for Team France. And big shot here for Clara. And you got that one way to the right. That's not going to make it back. That's going to be a 7 load. And now the lead will be less than 10 because that will cost Team Orion some count. And Clara did not mean to get that one that far right. And even though there's certainly more oil in the middle than the outside, there's not so much dry that that ball will come screaming back. So Clara now with the relatively routine 1-2-4 combination. And she stays with her strike ball to shoot this 1-2-4. And chops it. Unfortunately, the ball does not go across. Again, the announcer's curse. And that's going to be... That's going to hand the lead over to Team France on the bench. And so Team France now pacing to 185. And Team Orion pacing to 182. Unfortunately, with 2 out of the last 3 frames open. So having their troubles here late in the game. And let's see if France can basically put this away. And beautiful shot there. Comes up for a 4-pin again. Everybody having trouble striking. Just a little bit high, a little bit light. Either it's a 10-pin or it's a 4-pin or, you know, or it's a mix or 7 or whatever it may be. Now she thought she had it, just come up a little bit high. And now Celine will cover this 4-pin and give France the 2-pin lead going into the last frame. And no problem there on the 4-pin. Here we go. It's a 2-pin match. And it will come down to the anchor players. And here is Jack Blythe. And Jack, of course, struck in his first shot. Went through the beak his second shot. He got it to the right, funny enough, and it caught the dry and turned up. Let's see what he does here. Now, Team France cannot be shut out. If Jack doubles, he can get to 192 for Team Orion. And pretty good looking shot, and stuffs the first one. Big shot there. That'll put them in the 180s. Now, that absolutely means that Team France must at least mark with good count to win. Now, if Jack can get the second one, it will force a double by anchor player and team captain Kenny Biot from Team France. And let's see what Jack does here. Take a breath. Take your time, make a good shot. And he pulled that one substantially left, but he gets the Brooklyn. So we'll take it, says Team Orion. A little bit of a yank there, but that's okay. And there's a double, putting them in the 190s. And now it will be up to Kenny Biot. Can he come through? He's had a washout and a perfect strike. Can he come through with the double in the 10th for his team? It's all about the 10th frame in this one. And Jack right at it, and wow, that was a 5-7-10 there for a second, but unfortunately, luckily it gets 9, so it gives him 191. So count almost doesn't much matter. You've got to have a double out of Kenny Biot. Must double, or it will hand the match to Team Orion. Let's see how Kenny responds to the pressure. He's got all the power he needs, but he's had one go left, and he's had one perfectly in the pocket. Let's see what happens here. Don't forget, there will be an interview from Marc Chavet, the voice of the Tour de France, after the match with both Kenny and Jack Blythe, whatever happens here. And Kenny taking his time. It's all about the 10th. Makes the shot. Looks pretty good. Turn it up. Perfect strike for Kenny. That's number 1. Now he needs one more and 8 to win the match for Team France and automatically seed them into the final of the Division II qualifying, since they won their first match against Team Vega. And funny enough, Kenny opened in the 10th in that Team Vega match, but they hung on to win anyway. And here he needs the double, and can he come through? Taking his time. Take a breath. You cannot simulate this type of pressure. You have to get yourself in these situations by competing, and some people say pressure is a privilege, and different people respond to pressure in different ways. And let's see what Kenny does here. And makes the shot. Looks good. Dead flush. Beautiful shot by Kenny. Bang, bang. Strike, strike. Coming through for his team. And now he only needs 8 to lock it up. Well, that is not a given. He had a washout in the first frame, which was about 6 for him. So he can't throw the plastic ball right down the middle right now. You have to make a shot. You have to put the ball in the pocket and go from there. There you see Marc Chavet and Bruno Bedone, our friends. And here is Kenny needing 8 to win. We'll give them 192. And he's come through with 2 beautiful shots. He had that washout and 3 consecutive strikes after that. So Kenny fulfilling his role as anchor man for this Team France 2. And gets it out. Beautiful shot in the pocket. Bang, bang, bang. 3 great shots there by Kenny Biot. Team France trailing the entire match until the 9th frame. And Team Orion suffering 2 opens in the 7th and the 9th, allowing Team France to get back into it. And then 3 clutch shots in the 10th by Kenny Biot. Congratulations to Team France on their 2 victories here in Division 2. And we are looking at Team France entering the final again in Division 2 as they are in Division 1. So both Team France teams advancing. We could see an all-France final for this Baker Championship. So once again, Bruce Hall here, your voice of these international competitions. And appreciate Bruno Bedone and all you do, sir, for the promotion of this series. And here's the summary of the matches. Of course, Team France 2 coming through with 2 in the 10th, 3 in the 10th for 194 to Team Orion's 191. Once again, please stay tuned for the interview with Kenny Biot and Jack Blythe coming up right now.
Là, on a vécu un match incroyable. L'équipe de France numéro 2 avec Kenny Biot, le capitaine de l'équipe. Open frame sur la frame numéro 2, mais il a pu prendre ses responsabilités derrière et nous offrir une dernière frame de toute beauté avec ce triple strike. Strike, 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 XXX, triple X. C'est pas Vin Diesel, c'est Kenny Biot. Bravo, l'équipe de France 2 qui mène évidemment dans la 2e division, qualifiée pour les demi-finales. La réaction à chaud?
Vraiment impressionnant. Franchement, je me suis remémoré les parties d'avant où j'ai vraiment fait split à la 10e frame. Je me suis dit, il faut prendre les choses en main, tu es le capitaine, donc il faut vraiment que l'équipe puisse compter sur moi. Et je pense que là, ils sont fiers de moi et je suis aussi fier de moi. C'est vraiment très agréable.
Je crois qu'il y a de quoi être fier. Je crois que tout le pays est fier de toi, Kenny. Mentalement, quand on est comme ça à l'orée de la libération de cette dernière boule, je parle de la 10e frame, première boule. Qu'est-ce qui se passe dans la tête à ce moment-là? On sait que le poids de la responsabilité vous incombe. Ça repose sur tes épaules. Qu'est-ce qu'on ressent à ce moment-là?
On ressent vraiment une folie, une envie de jouer, une envie de vraiment de bien faire. Mais il faut que cette envie ne nous gaspille pas notre lâcher et qu'on reste dans la fluidité et le relâchement. Donc c'est vraiment une gestion des émotions. Et moi, je sais que je travaille énormément sur ma respiration pour caler cette émotion et la faire sortir juste après la frame.
Dernier point, peut-être, j'ai remarqué que tu avais pris un temps supplémentaire avant de libérer la boule sur la 10e frame. Il y avait justement ce moment où tu te concentrais sur la tâche à effectuer. Il y avait ce moment vraiment C'était un moment vraiment atypique en tout cas.
Oui, j'ai vraiment effectué ma routine de préparation. Je n'ai pas enchaîné les 3 strikes d'un coup. J'ai vraiment voulu bien caler, me dire que je joue boule après boule. Donc vraiment routine après routine. C'est pour ça que ça a pris plus de temps que les autres lâchés.
Merci beaucoup, Kenny. Let's hand it over to Jack Blythe for Team Orion. Jack, great to see you with us. Great to have you with us here in France. And I'm sure the French audience is happy to see you on TV as well. A performance here against Team France number 2. Difficult one when you look at the overall structure of the matchup. Can you tell us what went wrong for you guys?
I don't really know. We had a good team chemistry. When we competed in St. Louis in the first stage, we all just bonded really, really well together. And I think that's something that is really, really special. And even though we didn't beat France, that's something that we can take away anyway. We become our own family. So even though we didn't win, we had an amazing time.
Jack nous dit, même si on n'a pas gagné le match, on a en fait réussi à trouver une vraie chimie de groupe, un vrai collectif et créer tout simplement une équipe qui pourra peut-être réaliser des prouesses à l'avenir. Jack, it's not over yet. You still have a matchup against Team Vega to come. There's still a spot to take in the semifinals there. What's the game plan going to be for the next matchup?
Just have a bit of fun. I think the most exciting thing about bowling is it's a game of skill, but the luck and the exciting part of it is just getting to spend some quality time with some amazing professional bowlers. And that for me is something that I will take away from this tournament, is meeting the people that I've met. And we're going to go and have a good time, and hopefully we can come out with a win.
Voilà, Jack nous dit pour le prochain match entre la team Orion et la team Vega, parce qu'il y a une place à aller chercher évidemment pour les demi-finales, l'important pour lui et son collectif, c'est de passer un bon moment, de profiter de cette expérience et évidemment profiter du moment présent avec des grands joueurs de bowling professionnels et espérer se qualifier pour la suite. Ce serait la cerise sur le gâteau, nous dit Jack.